expression of the energy is what I call healing others, healing the persons. So all I suggest is only one thing, just cognitive shift, thinking that you are man, just drop and just shift yourself. You don't even have to believe you are God, just shift. You are something more than what you think. I always tell people, whatever esteem you may have, less than you being a God, it's a low self-esteem because you are God. Whatever esteem you may have about yourself, less than you being a God is low self-esteem because you are God. Your very nature is energy.
So is it just enough that you can radiate the energy? Shouldn't the other body be disciplined with energy? Is it enough to heal?
Your body is not different from my body, please understand. You are not totally separate, or you are not an island from me. Again, the idea that man is an island is just an idea. It is not truth. Now they are coming up with the ultimate theory, parallel universe. Now they are having a solid proof. If a big bang, if a black hole happens, somewhere big bang is happening. And if you move one small movement in one small atom in any place is immediately response or creates another effect in the some other part of the universe. So the parallel universe theory clearly proves you and me are not two different things. You and me are different only in verbalization. Only the word you and word me has got different meaning only in Oxford Dictionary, not in reality. Scientists are coming to a level, to a understanding. The word you and me is having only two different meanings in Oxford Dictionary, not in reality. That is what 20,000 years ago the rishis have declared, that art thou, tattvamasi. So now scientists are coming up, especially with the theory of parallel universe. The whole Vedanta is coming to reality. So you and me are different. The very idea itself is basically wrong concept. Yes.
Out of all the places you have visited in United States, where do you think you belong? Really?
Now naturally he wants the word San Jose. Not only San Jose, I belong to your house, okay? You are happy? Yes.
I followed another guru in my youth. I love him very much. Actually, he's still there, Meher Baba. And in his discourses, in the days when I was intellectual and I had time to read, which I'm not anymore, he had the...
No, if you have time to waste, you become intellectual. Not that if you have time to read. Yes.
Whatever, when I had time to read, yeah. He talked about in his discourses, it's called physical gross body, and he uses prana, subtle body is prana. And
Actually, there are 2-3 classifications. One level says there is 7 layer. Another level says 21 layer. One level says 3 layer. So there are 3-4 levels of understanding. And in my own program, there is a program called Nityananda Spurana. In that I speak about the 7 layers. And we work on the 7 layers. And there is one more program I am going to do, Intensive Enlightenment, 21 layers. And all the 21 layers we are going to work. You see, actually the 21 layer is there. If you take 7 layer as 1 layer, you can say 3. If you say 3 layer as 1 layer, you can say 7. But actually 21 layers are there. We are going to work on the 21 layers also for maybe a month in intensive enlightenment. It all depends on the way in which the program is presented. When it is only 1 day, naturally we won't be able to analyze and understand, work on all the 21 layers. But when you are sincere, Even understanding the 3 layer will help a lot.
But my question is, in my life, when I notice is anything that brings joy or brings happiness, or like it makes me like a child again and opens my energy, is brings me to my own divinity. And sometimes it can be just singing and dancing and
Singing and dancing is a wonderful meditation technique. Yes, do it. Anything opens you up, anything makes you more blissful is the tapas meditation for you. That is the path for you. If just sitting makes you joyful, do that. If singing and dancing makes you joyful, do that. Continuously, in India, the living masters lineage is there, especially the Dasa Parampara. The Parampara is called Dasa Parampara. It's a lineage of enlightened masters. From Chaitanya, Meera, Kabir, Tulsi, Ramdas, all these masters, nothing but singing and dancing.
yeah.
Whole day they do nothing but singing and dancing. So it's a great technique, nothing wrong.
But in the modern age, there is not time, like I find a lot of times when I sit to meditate, I become frustrated because all I'm meditating on is all my problems, the problems of the world.
I always tell people, don't directly sit and meditate. If you just sit and meditate, you will add only more madness into your being. I always tell people, just first vomit out the suppressions which you have, then you can sit and meditate. I always first emphasis on vomiting out, shuddhi, and then you can start meditating. There are so many techniques you can learn. There is a Manipuraka Shuddhi Kriya to cleanse the inner chattering, to cleanse the anger, to cleanse the suppressions. Then you can take up the meditation.
What is your definition of death?
Death. Wonderful. When you resist, you die. When you resist that same incident, you die. If you just accept that same incident, you will change your body. If you welcome that same incident, you will become enlightened. That's all. Incident is going to happen. If you resist, you die. It just takes away everything from you. If you accept, you will just change smoothly, easily from one body to another body without pain. If you welcome and look into it, face it, relax into it, you will become enlightened. That's all. That can become God or Guru, which gives enlightenment to you.
Another question, Master, the meditation techniques that you kind of follow, is it safe to do without the Master?
Yes, I have done such a way. The techniques are taken from ancient traditions and little bit only is altered. Very little bit. I have taken techniques from some 7-8 traditions. Islam, Sufism, and Zen Buddhism, and Tibetan Tantra, and Shiva Tantra, Vedanta, and Saiva Siddhanta. That in the East, in the South India, deep South India, in Tamil Nadu, there was a big tradition, Siddha tradition and Saiva Siddhantic tradition. A big tradition of enlightened masters lived from their tradition. So from all these traditions, I picked up meditation techniques, refined it, and not only that, I made it such a way the techniques are independent from me. For the techniques, my presence is not necessary. Your presence is enough. Your presence is more than enough.
Is the SSP,
You can.
is the SSP that you're doing tomorrow is meditation?
Yes, it is. Tomorrow SSP is about meditation techniques. It's like an intro level course, introduction level course, Shakti Spurana. It is based on the 3 layers of your body: physical, mental, and causal body. 3 layers of your body will be dealt, and according to the masters, if these 3 bodies are not ease with each other, if they are unease with each other, you feel disease. All your physical and mental disease, the root cause for physical and mental disease is the uneasiness between these 3 bodies. If they are ease with each other, you will have a deep easiness in your being. So, analyzing and meditating on these three bodies will tremendously help you to heal your physical body and mental body. Ultimately, the two things, it will bring the energy to make your dreams into reality, and it will give you the understanding the reality is your dreams.
And this can be practiced without conflict with other systems.
Yes, it can be. It will only complement, never it will contradict. And one more thing, most of my programs, I don't even request the people to practice after that. And I always tell them, understand, you will see automatically things will start happening in you. Automatically things will start happening in you. Even in my programs, I tell them, don't take notes. If you are taking notes means you are making again the intellectual work, academical work. If you do you say, Swamiji, I know putting my hands in the fire will burn, but I am not able to resist the temptation? No. The moment you understand, you never put your hands in the fire. So, according to me, the spiritual teachings has to be understood. The moment you understand, naturally you will start following. A simple understanding is more than enough to transform. I always tell people, if you understand, you don't have to repeat my words words will repeat you. And if you don't understand, it will be just one more struggle. You will think, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. No. One guy came to me and told, Swamiji, I read a book about how smoking is injurious to health. Then I dropped. I asked, oh, nice, you dropped smoking. He said, no, Swamiji, dropped reading this like this books. See, when it becomes a work, naturally you drop me instead of dropping your old mental setup. So I never say, don't take up that as a work. When a deep understanding happens to you, naturally you drop.
When you speak about surrender to a master, but sometimes as a concept, it's kind of difficult to understand because a lot of times we think, we do things and that has an effect on the life of the individual. But the concept of surrender, which I'm going to speak about, it's kind of difficult to grasp what is really surrender. Talk a little bit about that.
Let me give you my idea about surrender. It's a deep, intimate love. That's more than enough. Because surrender, as such, if you start analyzing, understanding, it's not like a physically you drop everything and hold on to my feet. I have only 2 feet. I will be continuously hold on. No, it is not even a physical. A deep love which simply happens. People come and ask me, Swamiji, should I surrender it to you? I say no. Continue your sadhana. Have a deep search. Simply surrender will happen to you. It has to happen. It's like a flowering. By beating you can never a flower to blossom. So it has to happen. You can create a space in which it can flower. But you can never make it flower. So according to me, never work towards surrender. Because surrender means dropping all your work. So never start making that as one more work. Surrender will happen. You do your sincere sadhana as such. Continue, that is enough. You see, at some point, the love will become so much, the gratitude will become so much. Simply surrender will happen. That time, neither the person to whom you are surrendering nor the person who is surrendering will not be there. Both will disappear into the just action surrender, into the work surrender, into the experience surrender. The person who surrenders and the person to whom you surrender, both will disappear into the surrender. That is what I call real surrender. So, there is no need to work towards surrender. Whatever way you try to work towards surrender, you will make it as only as a work, not as a real surrender. Relax. You will see surrender happens.